and welcome back to Crimson Grey, Dusk and Dawn, where we was in the middle of a speech, but ran out of time, so, yeah. The speech ended with Francesca... Oh, the speech ended. Okay. Usually... Okay, I forgot where. Okay. Francesca's usually conclusion. The FDCA was toothless compared to the pharmaceutical giants, and the world needed a far more comprehensive set of regulations. Part of Lizzie made acknowledgement that as true, but it seems a very distant and clinical thought compared to the warmth inside her. Okay. Whoo. After the speech, the floor was open to questions, which drew their attentions away from each other. This was the part of John was more... Okay. This was the part of John was most interested in, after all, and Lizzie agreed with him that they were more likely to hear new information during that part. The first person to get to the mic asked boring, generic questions about what students could do in the face of giant companies. She also had a flirtatious walk, so Lizzie scowled at her for both reasons. Soon, though, Aaron was at the mic and he asked his question. You covered the potential impact of the United States, but only spoke in vague terms about the need of international regulations. What impact do you expect the rise of pharmaceuticals giants to have on the global south? It was a question Lizzie hadn't really given much thought. She reflected that Aaron was also always caring about impoverished and disadvantaged people. That was not a trait Lizzie shared, but looking at it objectively, she decided that it was a good form of kindness. She appreciated kindness in John, so she should give Aaron some credit as well. Outside of her mind, Francesca paused for only a moment before answering her response with a smooth but a lack of practiced air of her speech. Any large corporation is going to have a global impact, of course, and we'll see it especially in the rainforest and in the mineral-rich countries. Needless to say, those relationships will be exploitative. But I think we should be most suspicious of the actions that actually seems more benevolent. Specifically, the ostensibly altruistic donation of drugs to various countries of free or product produced at cost. For example, I have long believed that SARS Inc. is disputing insufficiently tested drugs on efficiently using the supposed beneficiaries of their donations as test subjects, but there can be serious concerns even for well-intentioned attempts, such as the mental stimulant Menninger AG donated in Sub-Saharan Africa. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. That had a positive impact on test scores, yes, but those drugs have serious long-term side effects when not taken according to a rigid schedule. Given the reality of the situation, both financially and personal, many recipient. No. Recipients simply won't follow or even have a chance to follow the proper course. We'll be seeing the consequences of all that for years. A decent question, if not one that held particular interest for her. Lizzie listened to a few more bad questions before she sensed a general movement in John's body and realized that he was getting up to ask a question of his own. She nodded to him and let go of his hand. She listened in irritation as other people. Irritation. Well, okay. Irritation as other people asked questions, but finally it was his turn. He cleared his throat nervously, but wasn't so uncomfortable as he might have been before. For those of us who want to have a career in this field, where do you think we can make the most difference? What balance do you see between regulating from the outside and trying to change organizations from within? Not a bad question, though Lizzie found herself wondering just how much it mirrored his thoughts process. He had discussed his thoughts about the future with her, of course, but there was something different about hearing him state them out loud in front of so many people. A good question, but a difficult one. I'd like to believe that the best answer is the FDCA or another regulatory body, but I'm not sure I'd recommend someone who hasn't started their career go that direction. We'll see what happens with our lobbying over the next few years. As for reforming from within, I'm tempted to say that's impossible. Look at SoftSynth. It carried the Japanese economy for a time, but now, internally, conflicts is threatening long-term deflation. In my mind, the biggest threat is the corporations will lack meaningful competition and make it efficiently impossible for anyone to regulate them. So honestly, what we might need more than anyone is business majors. That got a laugh from the audience, but it struck Lizzie as a serious answer. John pondered it as well, his eyes contemplative. As he returned to sit beside her, Lizzie was dying to know his thoughts, but for now she just smiled as he sat down beside her. None of the questions after that were particularly notable. Lizzie began to get nervous as the time ran out, since if something bad were to happen, it would likely happen towards the end. Yet it ended without incident, as had every anxious situations in the years since the battle with Koitek. Operative. But she was only slowly beginning to relax. If all these events had gone smoothly, maybe their wedding would as well. And if that was true, then what were they waiting for? Lizzie gazed towards John as they headed out, pondering the thought, "John, marry me!" as she screamed out loud. John was shocked, with tears rolling down his face and piss running down his leg. But there were so many things they were dealing with, so many consideration, so many thoughts, and it was wonderful just being with him. There was no need to rush. Setting the matter aside, Lizzie happily just discussed the speech with John. As they headed home, there would be discussion groups, but the only person she wanted in her group was him. They talked late into the night and happily fell asleep, still in their clothes. Dream sequence! No! In the middle of the boring psychology class, my god, my speech. Come on, tongue, work with me. Lizzie partially listened. Oh god, you're not working with me, tongue. To the lecture while she worked on her notebook. She was drawing lots of pictures of John now and getting a little better at it. Sometimes her focus drifted, though, and she found herself writing his name over and over again, 'cause she's obsessed. Now that the event was past, most of her immediate fears had been put to rest, at least temporarily. If Kovitek wasn't likely to be tracking them, then she had more options. Maybe they could get married after all. If so, she was disappointed that she'd made them wait so long. But how to get to that point? Though she didn't worry about making John afraid of her, she didn't want to add any stress to his life by seeming too insistent. And yet it had been perfect. Their wedding would be another treasured memory of their lives together that she wanted to carry around with her forever. A small part of her did worry that he was putting it off for some reason of his own. She couldn't doubt that he was fully committed to her, but there was a difference between living together and actually getting married. The professor said something that drew some of her attention away from what really mattered. That list sounded like it would be an exam, and he did like to include things that were lectured only to catch sleeping students. Lizzie quickly scribbled it down and memorized later, irritated at the distraction. The only reason she was even in the class was that she needed the credit to graduate. At first, Lizzie had actually been interested, wondering if she could learn anything about depression that would help her be a better partner to John. But mostly the class was just useless. Everything was focused on specific patterns of thoughts and declaring them to be unnatural when they didn't seem any stranger than the way most people thought, at least not to her. Trying to engage with it mentally just irritated her. And what they said about depression just made her angry. They talked about depression like it was a simple problem that would soon be cured. Okay, I'm sure, people. The professor was even a fan of Kovitek. Lizzie was certain that if he had his way, they'd take away her John and replace him with a different person. Without realizing it, her writing in the notebook had become sketchy and angry. Lizzie refocused and tried to draw him again. The way he looked when he came through sadness and shown her that quiet happiness deep within his eyes. When the lecture ended, Lizzie wasn't quite there, so she bit her lip and tried to finish quickly. No one usually paid her any mind. She could finish and leave herself in a good place with... Holy shit! Lizzie reacted instantly at the voice over her shoulder, slamming her notebook closed with one hand and reaching down for an axe with the other. She restrained herself from acting, instead focusing up on the girl beside her. That bitch! Ah, damn. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm back. That is some serial killer shit right there. Oh, I don't think my personal drawings are any of your business. No, bitch, piss off. It's everybody's problem if you're stalking some random guy. Why is that some random guy? She's stalking her boyfriend. Her partner. Wait, that's weird itself. Scratch that from record, please. Lizzie forced herself to smile, not mess anything up for him. Her body trembled just slightly as she put her notebook away and rose to her feet calmly. That isn't some random guy. It's my boyfriend. And does he know you keep a stalker journal? What are you talking about, bitch? She needs a slap or two. Oh, shit. No. But that was besides the point. She didn't understand. She didn't understand at all. She was insulting their relationship. Lizzie evaluated her quickly. No physical threat. No compatibility to put up any resistance. Kill her. Kill her. Kill her! 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 Don't kill her! Kill her! Kill her! Kill her! Kill her! Taking a deep breath, Lizzie maintained control for John's sake and answered calmly. I don't think it's your place to meddle with our relationship. Yeah, no. This is just like what we were talking about last week. Either he doesn't know and you're creepy as hell, or he does and you have some kind of weird codependent relationship. If you can't see you need help, you need someone to help you. You shouldn't say things like that. Look, I am just applying well, John is a kind person. He wouldn't judge me like you do. Then he's just enabling your condition. Lizzie took a deep breath and took a moment to think. Slit her throat immediately. Remove her finger and feed them to her. Befriend her until the opportunity for extensive torture. End the conversation quickly. End the conversation quickly and acquire napalm. What? Bury her alive. End the conversation and tell John all about it. Strangle her with her own intestines. Remove her cleanly and dispose of the body. I want to play this again and just kill everybody. Only her promise to him prevented Lizzie from doing what she wanted to do. Instead, she gave the other girl a smile. The professor also said that analyzing should only be done by professionals. Are you a certified professional? The response was nothing special, only the best that Lizzie could manage while under such stress. Yet the other girl took a step back and suddenly uncertain. Look, I was just making a servant, okay? Perhaps you could make some asseverance about your own relationship? A moment later, the girl fled class with a remarkable speed. Lizzie suppressed her urge to give chase. That had not been entirely wise of her, but she didn't care about that right now. Her world was still hollow, and she slowly became aware that she was gripping the handle of her axe so tightly that it hurt. Owie! Though her mind still knew exactly what it wanted to do, Lizzie remembered John and set those thoughts aside. Refocused, Lily carefully loosened the grip, then headed home at the high speed that wouldn't draw attention. When she arrived, she threw herself into John's arms and held him tightly. He looked concerned, and she hesitated for a moment before the words spilled out of her in a white hot flood. She held nothing back, telling a story in a disjointed tangle of events, emotions, and what she wanted to do. John just held her and listened, not judging in the slightest. Being in his arms always calmed her. As soon as Lizzie was closer to what others would consider normal, she did like being this way, happy and peaceful, and she could do more for John like this. It was an unintended side effect, and it stopped her from slaughtering anyone. John, thank you. I'm always here for you, Lizzie. As she regained clarity, she realized that she had added stress to his life by doing this, though she betrayed herself for it. Lizzie knew that he didn't mind helping her in this way. Oh my God, I'm sorry, John, I should have just killed the bitch. It doesn't make you angry to hear the things she said? It does, a little, but she probably just has a big head after learning a new concept in class and wants to use them on people. John is kind, too kind, always protecting. And I'm glad you do, Lizzie. But you don't need to hurt anyone to protect me, okay? Okay. She embraced him warmly, trying to pour affection into him instead of just receiving it. Part of her regretted not holding back her thoughts, since it had drained him a little, but at least she knew that he would never judge her. She stayed in his arms for a while after that, setting aside her guilt over causing him stress and just indulging his kindness for a while. The girl had been right about one thing. A normal boy could never have been with her. John was special. That was why they were so wonderful together. Even as she regained her full calm, however, one thing didn't change in her mind. Maybe it wasn't possible due to the circumstance, but it would have been better to kill the girl. Doy. Yeah, I probably should have. Hey! Well, you then. Saving that. I'm going to leave it off there. Thank you for watching. I've been your main man out in paradise. Please like, subscribe, comment and share. All that fancy stuff. And I shall see you in the next episode. Thank you. Bye.